Hey guys, CanisSkye here, giving you a visual novel of sorts. It is 999, or in this case, 9 hours, 9 persons, and 9 doors. I'm gonna be calling it 999 for this run through. Like I said, it is a visual novel, and it is going to be it's gonna be weird. I haven't really beaten this yet. Can't really explain it too much. It is for the DS. I am playing it on my DS. I'm gonna try and make this a really good run. Good LP. I hope you enjoy it. This game is fiction. No, all names, characters, and incidents portrayed in this production are fortuitous. So don't think that they picked Bobby Joe because they don't like Bobby Joe. I'm probably going to be reading the visual novel portion. If you don't like it after the first couple parts, I will change it up for you. What is this? That's not healthy. Boats shouldn't be blowing up like that. Ugh. A loud noise startled Junpei awake, and his eyes snapped open. As they adjusted to the light, he realized that he didn't recognize his surroundings. Ow! With a crack, Junpei's head connected with something metal. Oh, that had to hurt. He rolled over and threw out his hand to steady himself, but he found himself groping at empty air. He lost balance, and his still fuzzy mind struggling to understand what was going on, Junpei tumbled down to the cold gray floor. Ah, god damn it! God, what the hell? Junpei glared around the room, still trying to determine where he'd woken up. Man, he must have had a long night if he didn't remember. The fall had shaken the last cobwebs of sleep from his mind, and finally he understood where he'd fallen from. It was a bed. A 3-level bunk bed, in fact. Junpei had fallen, apparently from the topmost bunk. His shoulder hurt, his knee hurt, his hip hurt, his entire body hurt. He could feel a bump forming on his forehead where he'd slammed it against the low ceiling. He wondered if that bump was the reason he felt his vision wavering a bit, but that seemed unlikely. At first, he thought the tremor that ran through his legs was just another effect of his rude awakening, but as he looked around, he realized it was real. The whole room was shaking. Was it an earthquake, he wondered? It didn't seem likely. It was shaking far too quickly for an earthquake. Then again, Junpei had no idea what it was, if not an earthquake. He tried to tell himself it was important. Junpei rubbed the growing bump on his head and gingerly climbed to his feet. His balance regained, he finally took his first look around the room. It's still shaking. It's really tiny. Where am I? His pain momentarily forgotten in his face of the confusion of his circumstances, Junpei looked around the room once again. Minutes passed while Junpei struggled to get his bearings. Then, as suddenly as they had begun, the tremor ceased. A cold silence fell over the room. Ugh. From somewhere far away, Junpei could hear the sound of metal squeaking. He felt his stomach tighten. There were 1,000 things the sound could have been, but none of the things he could think of were good. In an attempt to distract himself, Junpei looked around the room once more. There was a stove that looked more antique than functional. The 3-level bunk bed had mattresses that were so thin that they were little more than blankets. That sounds lovely to sleep on. On the other side of the room was an identical bed, and set in the wall between the beds was a slightly dirty iron door. The first thing Junpei noticed about the door was the number roughly emblazoned across it. On the surface of the door, in red paint, someone had written 5. 5? What's this 5 mean? Suspicious and utterly confused, Junpei approached the door slowly. Man, people putting graffiti on boats again. Standing, at last, in front of the door, Junpei grabbed hold of the L-shaped handle. A push yielded no movement, and pull the same result. Well, guess we're stuck. It wouldn't open. It didn't matter how much he pushed and shoved. The handle wouldn't budge. Next to the door was an odd-looking device that reminded Junpei of a card reader. It didn't take a genius to figure out that the odd-looking device was keeping the door shut. Junpei knocked hard on the door. Hey! Hello? Is anyone there? Open the door! There was no response. Junpei threw his left fist into the door and stopped. What the hell is this? He wasn't really sure what else to say. Oh, by the way, this game's rated M. On his left wrist was a bracelet of a sort he'd never seen before. In the center was a large LCD display. It looked like nothing else so much as a watch, but it clearly wasn't that. After all, it showed only a single number. 5. That's the same as the door. True, the numbers were the same, but he had no idea what they might mean. All he knew was that it was strange, and new, and he wanted it off. I want it off. Junpei flipped his hand over, as if to remove a watch, but doesn't look like you'll be opening that anytime soon. There was nothing. He sighed and flipped the thing back over. There were a number of rivets around the rim of the face. Perhaps. He pushed them, but nothing happened. On a watch, they might be dials for adjusting date or time, but on this bracelet, they did nothing. Junpei was at a loss. What was he going to do? Growing more desperate, he began to tug at it. However, damn! It's no good! Damn thing won't come off! A steel ring ran from the face, around Junpei's wrist, and back into the face. He wouldn't be pulling the bracelet off any time in the near future. What the hell is the deal with this thing? Frustration and desperation were beginning to mix as the reality of the situation began to dawn fully on Junpei. So much was happening, and none of it made sense. Junpei felt as though he were about to explode. Where am I? And why the hell am I here? Why? Why? What the hell happened to me? And everything happened at once. It was at that moment that he noticed the window. The window was round, rimmed in riveted brass, like a window from an early 20th century ship. What? Wait, am I in a ship? Junpei walked slowly toward the window. He could see nothing beyond it but thick, impenetrable darkness. Junpei squinted, trying to see something. Anything. It was at that moment. What the... You gotta be kidding me. What the hell is going on here? And you had to ask, didn't you? Ask and you shall receive, good sir. A crack split the glass of the window, and for a moment Junpei stared at it. Then the window burst, and water began to pour into the room. What the hell? God damn it! FML! Junpei yelled and spun around. His feet slipping in the water, on the water already, coming through the window. He ran for the door. Hey! Anyone? Is anyone there? Come on, if you're there, say something! Answer me! There was no reply. As Junpei screamed and pounded on the door, the water began to rise. It was now ankle-deep on the floor and rising quickly toward his knees. Things were not looking good for Junpei. Not good at all. Thank you, narrator, I appreciate that. He needed to find a way out, and quickly. Junpei ran a hand across his forehead, brushing the sweat out of his eyes, and looked around the room. Alright, we're on our first puzzle of the game, which is getting the hell out of this room. Don't mind if I do. First off, there is no time limit in this in these puzzles, which is good, considering that we're going to drown if we don't work fast enough. So time is not of the essence here. During an escape, you can move to different parts of the room by touching the bottom screen. Since many areas require very exact selection, we recommend you use the stylus instead of your big fat fingers. Thank you, Nintendo, for telling me that my fingers are fat. During an escape, you can touch the background to search anywhere in the room. Areas you can investigate will be highlighted yellow the moment you touch them. Depending on the nature of the location you touch, you might find an item or a hint. Begin searching by touching places on the bottom screen. And touch the triangle icon on the bottom screen. Doing so will change the viewing angle of the room and move you to different locations. You can do the same thing by pressing left, right, down on the control pad. Bird's eye view. If you want to know where you are, touch X on the camera icon on the bottom screen. This will show you where you are and what direction you're facing. Pressing start will allow you to save. If you want to quit, we recommend pressing start. And have a nice day. The purpose of each escape is to get the hell out of the rooms. How you do that depends on the room. You'll need to search all throughout the room to discover that you'll need to do what you'll need to do to get out. Search for hints and items that may help you find a way out. And now, take a swig of water because it's going to be a long recording session. Alright, so we can observe around the room. I'm going to focus here first. You can touch whatever you want. Junpei will put his 2 cents in regarding what it is and what is going on, and if we can pick things up. So, we've got to find a way out of the room for Junpei to survive another day, considering that we are in a bad position. Alright, nothing in the sink. Alright, what's this? Items. During an escape, investigating certain parts of the room will allow you to obtain items. Once you've obtained an item, you will be able to go to the item screen. Touching L on the top left will take you to the item screen. Item screen is the key word for this, jeez. And combining items that you found. If you want to investigate an item you found, touch the icon for that item in the item... Oh god, a lot of items. Search in bottom corner of the screen. I'm sure we understand. So we can use our stylus and hover all around it, move it around, kind of like Phoenix Wright, and observe it a bit. We can hit R for search to have people talk about the item in question. And as you can see, there is a hint that we might need a screwdriver to unscrew the picture frame. So, jeez. I already explained all this. I don't need to do this again. Jesus. And I got an itch on my foot. Jeez. This is a bad recording session. This is like my second day. Shows that you were holding the item. If you hold an item while investigating the room, you may trigger a reaction. Investigate suspicious areas with different items to see if anything happens. What they mean is this bottom thing here, which has picture frame. If you keep pushing it, and if you have different items will pop up, and certain items will be usable. Note from bulletin board. It is weird insignias. Maybe some ritualistic cult was here. That's why there's a 5. Doesn't look like anything on here. Alright. Nothing here. How about this place? Let's open this up. The door to the stove. Let's open it. Maybe it's way out. Oh, what is this? It's a screwdriver! That's cool. Because now, we can use the screwdriver to unscrew the picture frame. Look at his Instagram! It's a picture of a freaking boat with something on the back. I love this. There we go. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So someone wrote a bunch of numbers and symbols on the back of the picture. Looks like they did, and it looks like the pictures that we have already on from the from that little board that we got. Sorry, I'm taking swigs. My throat's getting sore. Yeah, so the 2 items can be combined. You receive a new item, or the same item, but getting something a little differently from it. In this case, it was a picture frame. Hey, look at that! It's a blue key. Yay! Let's take it. gotta be useful. Of course, it can't open doors. We need a card key to open up the door with the card key thing on it. So, maybe. Who knows? Like how Junpei puts everything back. Can I have hangers? I'm in need of some hangers. Hangers. There's a lock on the briefcase, of course. See if there's anything in the keyhole. Nothing in the keyhole. That was wishful thinking. I guess we're looking for a red key. Or, well, the blue key, obviously. Will not open a red suitcase. Since Junpei said that it might open up a blue item, which in case would be this. This thing won't budge. Guess it's locked. Oh man. Hey, it fits, but I think we need codes. It's a code. It's a code issue. Oh god, minigames. During an escape, your investigation may trigger one of several minigames. All operations for the minigames are done by touching the bottom screens. These will require you to manipulate something, while others will only require you to apply the right object or touch the right thing at the right time. Granted, we don't need this because we don't know the code yet. So, and I'm assuming that these little insignias that we got is a hint. Alright. Don't freak out, keep cool, and look around for some more clues. Blues clues. Alright. Here. Shove them into the window, maybe that'll stop. I don't think that's gonna stop it, Junpei. It's just gonna push it out, and it's just gonna absorb, and it's just not gonna be a good time. Yeah, that's by getting the hell out of this room. There's not really anything else I can do. Yep. I can reach this bunk, might as well look through it. Huh. Damn, nothing here. How about this one? I can reach this one, right? Even though it's almost covered with water. That's fine. Hey, would you look at that? Another one of these. Let's see if I can adjust it correct the mundo for you people to see, for you OCD people. As good as it's gonna get. Alright. So, it's red under the red symbols and blue under the blue ones. You can see arrows are pointing this way, meaning that the paper needs to go this way, I'm sure. And there's red in the first spot here, and there's red in the last spot here, giving me a suggestion that the red case is going to get the first two numbers and the last two numbers of these papers, and same with the blue. I guess we're gonna figure that out. And since we have the blue key, we might as well do that one first. Alright, let's see. So, let's see if I'm right. We got 0, 2, 6, 0, 2, 6, 3. Alright, let's do it. It's gonna tell us again how we're gonna do this. 0, 2, 6, 3. I'm just gonna remember that. Alright, come on. Come on. I don't know why you keep telling me this. I kinda understand. 0, 2, 6, 3. Yes! Ping pong! I have gotten it. What's inside, baby? Let's see what's inside. It is a folder of some sort? Book? Some sort of thing? A file. File screen. If you find any documents or notes during an escape, the information on them will be available from the file screen. To open the file screen, touch File or the R button in the top right of the bottom screen. Once at the file screen. So, oh my god, files everywhere! Jeez! The directions on these are crazy. If you touch search, the contents of the file you selected will be displayed on the upper screen. Alright. Digital route. Compute a digital route with the following steps. First, add all the numbers in question to one another. If you end up with something greater than a single digit number, add the digits to one another. And for instance, if you have a double digit number, add the number in the tens place to the number in the ones place. Keep adding digits in this manner until you have a single digit answer. That final single digit is your digital root. For example, the digital root of 678 would be 6 plus 7 plus 8 equals 21, 2 plus 1 equals 3. So the digital root of 678 is 3. The digital root of 1234 would be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, which equals 10. And we have to make 1 plus 0 from the 10, and that would be a 1. So the digital root of 1234 is 1. That's kind of weird. So we gotta get a single digit number out of a huge thing of numbers. Notebook, pen, and calculator, stack of key cards, which are blue. Okay. Red numbers on them, 6, 7, and 8. Maybe that might need some. Alright. Calculator. Yay, we have a calculator. It works just like a normal calculator. The only difference is that it has a digital root button. So you can have that magic happen, which is good. Alright. Calculator can also calculate digital roots, which will be important to the progression of the story. GG. Alright, we're still missing... How about this? Hey, would you look at that? Red key. Not for the door, it's for that briefcase that we found. Then we can get the numbers for these and be on our merry way. Alright. Junpei grabbed the key and shoved it into his pocket. He intended to leave immediately, but something stopped him. His reflection stared back at him from the mirror, but he had scarcely recognized himself. Wow, rough night, dude. Really? His confusion was well justified. His face was drawn and pale, and the dark circles under his eyes made him look as though he was nearly dead. Man, what the hell happened to me? How did I end up here? Even as he said it, something in his mind opened, and a memory bobbed into the surface. It was the last thing Junpei remembered before waking up in the strange room. Alright, I guess we're gonna find out what happened. It was past midnight when he came home. Junpei shuffled up the stairs and opened the door to apartment 201. Inside was his apartment. A small one-bedroom affair that ran him about $630 a month. Needless information, but that means he's a low-money person. He moved into it when he entered college, and so far he had been there for 3 years and 7 months. More useless fact, but okay. He stepped inside and turned on the lights. Ooh. The fluorescent lights on the ceiling blinked and flickered slowly to life, as if waking from a deep slumber. Their cold light illuminated the landscape he'd come home to so many times before. Everything was as he left it. The magazines piled up in the corner, the textbooks collecting dust, the CD cases covering the floor, the jeans and t-shirt he'd worn the day before, then tossed onto the floor. Sounds like me. There was one thing that didn't belong, however. There was a breeze. Breaths of cold night air wafted into his apartment, carrying the smells of autumn with them. The white curtain framing his window swayed gently in the wind. Huh, that's weird. Did I leave that open? Junpei walked toward the window, trying to remember if he closed it or not before he left. One of the panes was hanging open. He stuck his head out and looked around. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Junpei shrugged. He must have just left it open earlier. He closed the window. Then it happened. Oh, God! Junpei turned and found himself face to mask with a man dressed in all black. The man wore a deep hood and a bulky gas mask. His face was entirely hidden. Junpei tried to scream, but all he could manage was a strangled croak. Poor Junpei. He tried to step toward the man, but his legs could no longer support his weight. Oh boy. Junpei collapsed to the floor, a crumpled heap of limbs like a discarded puppet. Oh, that's not good. Too late. He noticed the white smoke that was quickly filling his apartment. A small object, shaped distressingly like a grenade, sat on the floor in front of his face, hissing. The white smoke poured out of it in an incredible rate. The smoke had grown so thick that the details of Junpei's apartment began to fade into the white haze. He could feel his mind begin to fade as well, a white haze that was not the smoke creeping into the edges of his vision. Oh, it's gonna knock him out, ain't it? Consider this a privilege. You have been chosen. A rasping voice wormed its way out of the gas mask. It was cold and harsh and distorted in some way Junpei couldn't put his finger on. You are going to participate in a game. The Nonary Game. It is a game where you put your life on the line. That was the last thing Junpei remembered. The white smoke overpowered him. The masked man faded from his vision, and he felt his consciousness fall away into the white mist. That's right. That guy with the gas mask. That son of a bitch must have taken me here. As to who the man was, or might have been, Junpei had no idea. Indeed, he wasn't even sure that his assailant had been a man. The voice had been cold and mechanical, likely passed through a voice changer, and the body had been covered in a thick cloak. But that's creepy walking into, man. You have been chosen. Junpei remembered that much, but what it might mean, that was beyond him. Junpei had no idea where he was, or why he was there. There was only one thing from his memory that seemed important. You are going to participate in a game. The Nonary Game. It is a game where you will put your life on the line. The Nonary Game, huh? What the hell is a Nonary Game? God damn it! With a yell, Junpei drove his fist into the mirror. That's pretty bad. If I seen some dude in a mask, does that sort? Oh man, that would be messed up. Alright, so I forgot that we did find the red key here on the mirror. So let's see. Since it worked the first time with the blue one, let's go with the red one. We gotta get out of here. 7, 4, 8, 7, 4, 8, 5. Gotta remember that. 7, 4, 8, 5. Let's put the key up front. My bad. Trigger happy. 7, 4, 8, 5. Let's see if I can remember this. 7, 4, 8, 5. Alright. Let's see if this works. This thing. 7, 4, 8, 5. And you're gonna tell me how to work this again, because you're a tutorial puzzle. 7. I hope I remember this right. I'm gonna look like a dummy if I don't. I don't feel like looking like a dummy. Hey, yay, no dummy today. I unlocked it! What's inside? Is it another file? No, it's just a bunch of cards. Normal cards. They look weird. They look like they've been used before. A lot. They're key cards, just like the blue ones that we have from the blue thing. But the numbers are 1, 2, and 3 instead of 6, 7, 8. Alright, now that we have 2 sets of key cards, which is weird, we're gonna go here, I guess, and plug these in. Let's see if these fit, and see if we can get out of here. Let's do it. Swing, 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 pull lever. Ah, no good. Why? Damn it! No, that's not right. I still have cards I haven't used. Let's try the blue ones. Blue ones! Pull the lever, Crunk! Damn it, Crunk! Not again! There aren't any more cards in here. I've only got one other hint. Of course! The files! That file says something about a digital route. A digital route. A digital route, huh? What am I supposed to do with... There's a 5 on that door. Do I have to get a digital route of 5? Well, you got really no other options left. You might as well give it a shot. I mean, you're just stuck here unless you win, right? Do everything you want until you try. So we need 3 cards that equal the digital root of 5. So, we're going to try this. Since we have 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Let's see. The way I figure this out is that in order to get a digital root of 5, you're going to be needing a larger number. So let's see. 5. What else can be 5? 23, but I know we can't make 23 with this, so the next best thing is probably 14, since 1 plus 4 equals 5. So we have an 8, and we would need a 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We need a 6. So we need 2 cards that equal 6. We don't have anything that equals 6. So I guess the next best thing would be 7. So, what would equal 7 and 7 is 14, so we need another 2 sets of cards that equal 7, and we so happen to, since 6 plus 1 is 7, and we get the digital root of 5. Bing bong! Yeah! That is the best I can offer. Well, that light was red, and now it's blue. No doubt about it. There's nothing keeping me in here now. Let's get the hell out of here. Don't feel like drowning today. Sorry. See you later. And we figured it out. GG. Da-da-da.